Under the search for inner strength. We live in a world constantly brimming with challenges, complexities, and uncertainties. Every day, life throws hurdles our way, some large, others small, but all designed to test our inner strength. Whether it's overcoming personal setbacks, dealing with difficult relationships, or navigating career obstacles, the journey toward developing resilience is ongoing and demanding. It often feels like there's no clear roadmap to guide us through these challenges, leaving many of us feeling lost or overwhelmed. The search for inner strength isn't new. For centuries, philosophers have wrestled with this question. How do we remain strong in the face of adversity? Among the many schools of thought, one philosophy has proven itself particularly effective in providing a framework for building that resilience: Stoicism. Stoicism, founded in the early 3rd century BC, is more than just a collection of ideas about how to live. It's a guide for cultivating inner strength, discipline, and a steady mind. In a world that often feels out of control, Stoicism reminds us that we have control over one thing: ourselves. By mastering our internal world, we can weather any storm that comes our way. At the core of Stoicism lie 3 essential traits: self-discipline, emotional resilience, and rationality. These traits are not just philosophical ideals. They are practical tools that anyone can use to develop a sense of inner strength, clarity, and peace. In this script, we will dive deep into these Stoic traits, exploring how they apply to modern life and how they can help you on your journey to becoming the strongest, most resilient version of yourself. 1. Self-discipline. The power of mastering yourself. Self-discipline is the backbone of Stoic philosophy. It's the ability to regulate your thoughts, behaviors, and actions in pursuit of your higher goals and values. Without self-discipline, our lives are dictated by whims, impulses, and distractions. But with it, we gain control over the choices we make, leading to a life aligned with our true purpose. The ancient Stoics understood that mastering oneself was the first step toward mastering life. One of the central figures in Stoicism, Epictetus, emphasized that freedom is achieved not by external means, but through internal control. "No man is free who is not master of himself," he stated. This means that true freedom comes from the ability to control our desires, actions, and thoughts. In today's world, self-discipline is more relevant than ever. Modern society is full of distractions, constant notifications, endless entertainment, and the lure of instant gratification. We are surrounded by temptations that encourage us to deviate from our long-term goals for short-term pleasure. Whether it's the temptation to scroll endlessly on social media or procrastinate on important tasks, the lack of discipline can prevent us from reaching our full potential. However, self-discipline isn't about depriving yourself of enjoyment. Rather, it's about having the strength to prioritize what's truly important, even when it's difficult. Self-discipline is the ability to say no to distractions and yes to actions that will move you toward your desired outcome. It's about choosing delayed gratification over immediate pleasure because you recognize the long-term benefits. Example in practice. Let's look at the life of Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and one of Stoicism's most famous practitioners. Despite being the most powerful man in the world, Marcus lived a life of incredible self-discipline. He woke up early, maintained a rigorous daily schedule, and committed himself to self-reflection and study. His reign was marked by his ability to focus on what truly mattered, serving his people and upholding justice, rather than indulging in the luxuries and distractions that came with his position. Developing self-discipline in your own life starts with identifying your priorities. What are the most important goals you want to achieve? What distractions or temptations are keeping you from reaching them? By becoming aware of these things, you can begin to create a plan that helps you stay on track. Small, consistent actions are the key to building discipline. It's not about making radical changes overnight, but about gradually building habits that align with your long-term goals. This might mean setting aside time each day for deep work, exercising regularly, or practicing mindfulness to stay focused. Over time, these small actions accumulate and become ingrained, allowing you to maintain focus and resilience even in challenging circumstances. In Stoicism, self-discipline is often tied to the concept of virtue, acting in accordance with one's highest principles, regardless of external circumstances. The more we practice self-discipline, the closer we move toward living a life of virtue, and the more inner strength we cultivate. 2. Emotional resilience, strength in the face of adversity. Stoicism teaches us that while we cannot control what happens to us, we can always control how we respond. This idea is at the heart of emotional resilience, the ability to stay calm, grounded, and rational in the face of adversity. In a world that constantly tests our emotional endurance, this trait is critical to building inner strength. The Stoics believed that most of our suffering comes not from external events themselves, but from how we interpret and react to those events. As Seneca, a prominent Stoic philosopher, said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." In other words, our emotional pain often stems from the stories we tell ourselves about what's happening, rather than the actual events. By learning to manage these interpretations, we can significantly reduce our emotional suffering and build resilience. Emotional resilience doesn't mean suppressing your emotions or pretending everything is fine when it's not. Rather, it's about acknowledging your emotions, understanding their source, and then choosing how to respond. This requires a combination of mindfulness, self-awareness, and perspective. One of the core Stoic practices that fosters emotional resilience is negative visualization, the act of imagining worst-case scenarios before they happen. While this may sound counterintuitive, it serves a powerful purpose. By mentally preparing yourself for potential difficulties, you become less attached to specific outcomes and more capable of handling setbacks when they arise. Negative visualization allows you to face life's uncertainties with calmness and grace, knowing that you're equipped to deal with whatever comes your way. In modern life, emotional resilience is often tested in our relationships, careers, and personal struggles. Whether it's dealing with the loss of a loved one, a major failure, or a conflict with someone close to us, emotional resilience allows us to navigate these situations without being consumed by them. Instead of reacting impulsively or being overwhelmed by negative emotions, we can take a step back, assess the situation, and respond in a way that aligns with our values and goals. Example in practice. Consider the life of Seneca, who faced numerous personal tragedies and political turmoil during his time as an advisor to Emperor Nero. Despite being exiled and later forced to commit suicide, Seneca remained calm and composed throughout his life. His writings reflect a deep understanding of emotional resilience, as he frequently advised others to remain detached from external outcomes and focus on maintaining their inner peace. Building emotional resilience in your own life starts with recognizing that you have control over your reactions, even when you don't have control over the events themselves. When faced with a challenging situation, take a moment to pause and reflect before reacting. Ask yourself, what story am I telling myself about this situation? Is this story helpful or harmful? How can I respond in a way that aligns with my long-term values? Over time, practicing emotional resilience helps you develop a steady mind, one that remains unshaken by life's ups and downs. Instead of being reactive, you become proactive, choosing how to respond to each situation in a way that fosters growth and inner strength. 3. Rationality, the Stoics' greatest weapon. If self-discipline and emotional resilience are the tools that help you navigate life's challenges, then rationality is the compass that guides your path. Stoicism places a strong emphasis on the use of reason, logic, and objectivity in decision-making. Rationality is what allows you to cut through the noise of emotions and external pressures, enabling you to make choices that are aligned with your values and long-term goals. At the core of Stoic rationality is the concept of the dichotomy of control, the idea that there are things within our control and things outside of our control. According to the Stoics, the only things we truly control are our thoughts, actions, and attitudes. Everything else, other people's opinions, external events, outcomes, is beyond our control. By focusing only on what we can control, we free ourselves from unnecessary worry, anxiety, and frustration. Rationality allows us to approach life's challenges with a clear mind. When we are ruled by our emotions, we often make decisions based on fear, anger, or desire. This leads to impulsive actions that may not serve our long-term interests. However, when we practice rationality, we take a step back and evaluate each situation objectively. What are the facts? What are the potential outcomes? How does this decision align with my values and goals? Practical application. Imagine you're facing a difficult decision at work, whether to take a new job or stay in your current position. Emotions like fear of the unknown or desire for immediate rewards might cloud your judgment, making it hard to make a clear decision. By applying Stoic rationality, you can strip away the emotional noise and focus on the facts. What are the pros and cons of each option? What do you truly value in your career, stability, growth, challenge? By approaching the decision with a rational mindset, you're more likely to make a choice that aligns with your long-term goals. Example in practice. Marcus Aurelius frequently used rationality to guide his decisions as emperor. In his personal writings, known as Meditations, he reflected on the importance of remaining calm, rational, and objective in all situations. Despite the immense pressures of ruling a vast empire, Marcus focused on maintaining inner clarity and making decisions based on reason, not emotion. Incorporating rationality into your life means becoming more mindful of how you make decisions. Instead of reacting impulsively, take a moment to pause and evaluate the situation. What can you control? What is beyond your control? By focusing only on what you can influence, you free yourself from unnecessary stress and empower yourself to make decisions that align with your true purpose. The path to inner strength through Stoicism. Inner strength is not something we are born with. It's something we cultivate over time through conscious effort and practice. The Stoic traits of self-discipline, emotional resilience, and rationality provide the framework for building this strength, helping us to navigate life's challenges with clarity, calmness, and purpose. Self-discipline gives us the ability to control our actions and focus on what truly matters. Emotional resilience enables us to remain steady in the face of adversity, while rationality allows us to make decisions that align with our long-term goals. Together, these traits form the foundation of inner strength. The Stoics believed that the true measure of strength is not how much we can achieve, but how we respond to the inevitable difficulties of life. By practicing self-discipline, emotional resilience, and rationality, we can develop the kind of inner strength that allows us to remain unshaken by life's challenges, no matter how difficult they may be. So, do these 3 Stoic traits define your path to inner strength? The answer lies within you. By embracing these principles and applying them to your daily life, you can cultivate the kind of strength that comes from within. Strength that is unyielding, unwavering, and resilient. The path to inner strength is not easy, but with Stoic wisdom as your guide, you are more than capable of walking it.